So let's talk about where we left off last time. Let's see, we had created a Node JS server, right, using the very popular Express library. We had created an instance of Express and then created several HTTP endpoints, right, as RESTful web APIs, and then started a server listening at port 3000. The endpoints were created using controllers, using that design pattern. If we go into each one of these controllers, we had defined several RESTful APIs, right? One for retrieving all the instances of a particular data model, and another one for retrieving a particular instance, right? So for instance, in this case, we here we're using the naming convention for RESTful web APIs, right? That start with a /API and then followed by a plural noun of the entities or the collection that we're looking for, right? In this case, we're looking for quizzes, and in this one instead, we're providing an additional field at the end that has a unique identifier that allows us to retrieve a single instance within that collection. Also, following some architectural design patterns, we encapsulated the access to the actual data in a service, and so here's a service implemented in a separate file, and that implements these two functions: find all quizzes and find quiz by ID. These were implemented in this file, right? Quizzes services servers.js, where you have the two functions. One is find all quizzes, which basically just returns the array of quizzes, whereas this one just returns a single instance, right? The other controller as well that we implemented was the question controller, and that pretty much the same thing, right? It exposes these three RESTful APIs that allow folks to connect through HTTP and ask for either all the instances of a particular data model, in this case asking for all the questions, or asking for a particular question, or in this case retrieving the questions for a given quiz. In all cases, they are implemented using the service up here, and this service implements all these functions, right? Retrieving the actual data from, I believe it was a hard-coded array. So if we go in there, we see that we have implemented each one of these data access in these functions, and then we export it as an API. So that's on the server side. Right? Let's take a look on the client side. I believe on the client side we have not yet integrated these two. On the client side, we only have the we only have we only have access to right now the courses, a particular course, right? We haven't yet integrated anything of these quizzes and these questions with an Angular application, and that's going to be the focus of this lecture. How to integrate it with your own web API and introduce a couple more concepts in Angular.